Before the world sees your wins, your soul has to feel your work. It's the reps nobody applauds that produce the wins that do, all through a shifting of your identity into a dominator. This is all done in the dark every single day. So let me be your guide as I welcome you to this episode of the Dark Work Daily.
Why do you do what you do? Every day you get up and you put effort towards something that becomes a challenge for you, something that draws energy from you, takes time from you in directions, doing things you may not want to do every day. Why do you do that? And I'm not saying this in a playful, dumb way. I'm actually doing it because I want you to dig deep and find the answer. You got a very specific life that has very specific possibilities. And these possibilities and options are things that can be laid out in a beautiful way. The bigger piece of this all is that a lot of us don't have this clear understanding of why we do something. We don't always have this perspective on the reasoning behind the efforts. And honestly, I think oftentimes it's a great time for us to stop and ask this question. What would you do if no one was watching? What would you do if nobody was in the background paying attention to the life you're building and living and things you're doing? What would you do if it was just you in a silo going, you know what, I am going to determine my direction, my life? Because I think nowadays we spend so much time watching social media and determining our desired direction based on what, Facebook tells us to do, what Instagram people are doing, and that drives our life. And then what happens, you get down this pathway a few months, a few years, sometimes a decade, and you look back and go, was this my decision or was I following the crowd? And no one wants to admit they were following the crowd. Nobody. I followed the crowd, for sure. For sure I followed the crowd of building things, doing things. I'm glad that at a certain point in time I stopped and pulled back and realized that I was losing more than I was gaining. Losing more of what I desired than as opposed to what I was gaining in life. And I made some adjustments that have made it to where I won't go back to what I used to do. But it was because I stopped at one point and took a look and asked, what am I doing and why am I doing this? And that momentary space there, that gift I gave myself to take a peek into the world that is Anthony and a peek into my heart and ask what matters. It allowed me to separate myself from the drive and the grind that was breaking my family, has broken so many families. I found that for a lot of us, if given the time to choose our own desire, would not be doing what we're doing. Now, the blessing that I have in life, and I'd say it genuinely a blessing, is that I love what I get to do. I love the ability to talk and to share and to teach and to build and to create. I love the ability to express and be able to serve people's lives in ways that help their lives. That's a great responsibility and a great gift. But I earned that and I pushed through and I did go off in some damn wrong directions. But then I settled back. I settled down and I centered back to it as I am. And I think the settling down took place when I stepped into a better space of Anthony and realize that there's a man in here that desires to help other people be better. And this is something that is more than just something that the crowd wants, but it's something that I feel drawn to. I don't know what else I would do if I didn't have something like this in my wheelhouse of work to do. I could be expressive, I could share, but this thing that I have isn't supposed to be small or kept inside me or refined to the four walls of my home. And it's not supposed to be for you possibly either. Maybe you're supposed to be doing bigger, grander, more exciting things. And if you're hearing those words and you're thinking, yeah, maybe, then yeah. Not maybe, yeah. It's there for you. But you got to be the one that steps out away from the crowd and starts to pursue something that makes you feel like it's your choice. Because if you're choosing something because everybody else is doing it, then you're not really choosing something. It's chosen for you. When it's chosen for you, you don't give the same energy, the same effort at all. And so what happens is you get the lackluster outcome and you question if this is for you. Well, the question was set out before you took the step towards that. You just didn't answer it properly. It's maybe a moment in time for you to stop and go, yeah, this is not what I want to do. I want to change the direction. And maybe you do change the direction. I've done that. I've changed brands. I've changed directions of what I do. I've changed the way I serve. But I did it because something drew me to it a little bit differently. And that's something that all of us have to be able to pay attention to. And so when I asked that question of what would you do if no one was watching, what would you actually do? Who would you be? Would you serve? Would you not serve? Would you tuck away? And you may be asking yourself, man, how's this going to help me? I can't. I'm stuck in this. I got to do this X, Y, Z. You're never stuck. You may believe you're stuck. You may have convinced yourself you're stuck because convincing yourself you're stuck makes it easy to accept the pain. And it makes it easier to not have to look at the fear of pursuing something different, which is scary. So you'll do is say, no, I'm here. You'll give yourself a determinant that relieves the rest of the pressure of every other question that may seep in. But I'll tell you the God honest truth, man, you're never stuck doing anything. If I wanted to right now, I could become a phenomenal carpenter. I know nothing about wood in that sense, but I could figure it out. I could go be a helicopter pilot. I could figure it out. I could be a sports car mechanic. I could figure it out. I could do so many things, but I'm not special. You can do the exact same things. You just start picking up this idea and this hobby and you move towards, you see what happens, you unravel some things. Slowly your grip starts to loosen on the thing you've been holding on so tight to that still hasn't been serving you. And it opens up to be able to embrace something new. And when it opens up and embraces something new, you realize that it's just like monkey bars. You can release one grip and swing to the next one and it's going to be okay. And you keep on swinging through life that way. And that's what I think we're supposed to do while we're here. To experience. Not just to experience one singular thing forever, but to experience as much as we can experience that's good and righteous and pure and clean. And believe me, there is more than enough of that. More than enough great relationships you can have with great people. They're not intimate. Great places you can go, things that you can see. Great experiences you can explore and experience overall that aren't debauchery. There's so much you can do and see and taste and touch and feel that I don't see why we sit still and don't pursue and do so much more every day. I think that I've built a life that I love in a sense of having the opportunity to do exactly that, and it has been hard fought. But the biggest fight wasn't the work to make the achievement. The biggest fight was to give myself permission to pursue something different. And I'm saying this because I want you to think about that same thing. Have you given yourself permission to pursue something different? And if you have not, then I think today is a great time to ask the question of, what would you do if no one was watching?
If this episode stirred something in you, good. That means there's work to be done. Don't ignore it because listening is just the beginning. Because real change happens when you engage and you commit. So I invite you to join the Dark Work community inside the Dark Work app, which is where you communicate with amazing people on the same journey as you. You can find them on the App Store and the Google Play Store right now. Step into the conversations that sharpen your habits, strengthen your identity, and keep you locked in to the Dark Work.